Let's say we want to write a program that averages all the elements of an array. So here we have the array. We hard-coded it to have a number of double values. The name of the array is capital A. The data type is a double. Then we have the variable that's going to keep track of summing the array numbers, because in order to figure out an average, we have to add all the elements and divide by the number of elements. So total is going to keep track of the sum. Then we have our variable average, which will have the average. And then we have a for loop, because in order to add all the elements of an array, it's very useful to use a for loop, because we can start with index 0 and then go through a whole array and just keep adding the value of every element to our variable total. So we have a I for our index value. So we have initialize I to 0. It goes through I less than a dot length. We increment by 1, I plus plus, and then within the body of the for loop, we have total equals total plus a of I, right? Because every time it goes through, we want it to be adding the next element using the index. So after the for loop ends, our variable total has the summation of all the elements values, and then we can divide it by the a dot length, which is how many elements there are, and store it in the average. And then we can print out the value. So we're printing the average, and we're formatting it to print 2 decimal values after for the value, so that if we run it, it's going to have average equals 30.42. Now, if we didn't use a printf, if I have used regular system out println, then what would happen is it would give me a many more decimal places, right? Depending on how the value gets stored. So to show you the difference, if I was to do this, so I have system.out println, and I'm printing the value of average without any formatting involved, and I run it, you'll see that first of all, I need to put it on new line, because printf doesn't put new line. So if I run it with formatting, I have 30.42, but without the formatting, I have 30.419999, and then the last one is 8, because internally doubles are stored approximate number, not exact number, and so it has a lot more decimal values after decimal point. So that's why it's often useful to use for doubles, to use printf, which allows me to say how many I actually want.